Welcome, young artists, to your Dabbing Unicorn painting class. In front of you, you should have your Dabbing Unicorn canvas, a larger and smaller brush, a napkin or a Kleenex, a paper plate if you need to mix any colors, black, yellow, purple, red, white, really pretty ocean breeze blue, and then a light blue. So ocean breeze blue and light blue are what we're going to call those two different blues. And then also a cup of water to clean your brush. So let's go ahead and get started. First things first, take your two brushes, dip them in your cup of water, swirl them around, and get everything nice and clean for a painting class. And gently wipe your two brushes on your paper towel. Once you are done, go ahead and take your bigger brush and dip it into that ocean breeze blue. If it's dripping, be sure to kind of wipe off the sides on your cup or on your plate or on your paper towel. And be sure you're holding your brush close to the bristles, the little hairs, so you have good control, holding it like a pencil. First step again is big brush, ocean breeze blue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bubble around my Dabbing Unicorn. So I don't want to go inside of any of this shape, but I'll start on top over here and just kind of go around its leg and then go around its mane. I'm just working on the outside shape, and I'm using my big brush to outline. And I keep it going until I'm out of paint. You can go back for more. Be sure to wipe off the extra paint. So I'm not going into any of that shape, or I'm doing my best not to. And I'll go underneath it, kind of like this rainbow shape. Go around the hooves, a bit more blue paint. Tap on the paper towel, go around and like so. And then I'm going to continue going on around the mane. So it's just a nice big bubble. Do not go inside of the shape of the Dabbing Unicorn at all. If you did, what I would suggest is letting it dry and then going on top of it with white. So if you accidentally went inside of the unicorn shape or inside of the mane, if you want, just let the ocean breeze blue dry and then put white on top of it. Let the white dry so then you can build your color on top of it later on. So do you see that nice bubble all the way around? Well done. That's just kind of like the stopping point for the color we want in our background. We know not to paint any of this color on our Dabbing Unicorn. Once we're done, we're going to go back to more of this ocean breeze blue and a little bit of white. And we're just going to be making some X's in the background. So just going to make some X's, constantly be moving your brush. You don't want to be in the same space because you want that X to really show. You don't want to keep going over it or it will disappear. You're just going to jump around, adding a little bit of ocean breeze and white on your brush at the same time. You want all that space behind your Dabbing Unicorn to have a little bit of this ocean breeze white. And ocean breeze and white working together. So again, avoid the Dabbing Unicorn, go around him. We would have some in the background, over here. Keep on jumping with your brush. Don't be in the same spot over and over again, or you're gonna not see that kind of X shape that we're building around our Dabbing Unicorn. And I'm going over my outline a little bit too, because I don't want to really see that outline perfectly. I'm gonna go around it. You can always go back for more blue, ocean breeze blue. You can go back for more white. It's gonna be making that X shape with your brush and be moving it around. Go over that outline here and there. job, you guys. Just gonna keep on filling that space. And here's the thing, after I'm done, if you're still working on it, just pause the video and then go back to the next step whenever you're ready for it. So please I don't feel like you have to be moving as fast as me. I've done this dabbing unicorn many of times. So again, Ocean Breeze blue, white, and all that background space. Constantly working with moving your brush. You don't want it to be in the same space. I also like to paint the 4 sides with Ocean Breeze blue and white on it, because I like my sides to be painted as well, because if I hang it up on the wall, it just looks better and cleaner when the 4 sides are painted. I'm sorry if you heard my dog barking. He barks at everything. All right. And then a little bit more blue, a little bit more white. So just kind of moving that brush, more X's on the 4 sides. And if you're, once you're done, if you want to go back and just double check, make sure there's no white canvas poking through in the background, because we painted all that background first. You can go back and touch things up. But constantly moving that brush. Don't be in the same spot over and over again, or you won't be able to see that X movement with your brush. You'll just kind of be blending it into your canvas, and you don't want that. You want to move that brush. You want to show some movement. Even the top part. Alright, so we got one dabbing unicorn background. And again, if you're not done, pause this video now so you have a nice Ocean Breeze blue and white X background. So I'm constantly moving that brush. Voila, step 1. All right, once you are done, you're gonna wash and dry your big brush, like so. Perfect. I want to really get a lot of that blue off of it, so I'm actually going to hug my big brush with my paper towel, or my Kleenex actually, which means I'm just going to wrap it around like so, get it nice and clean. Once I'm done really wiping down my big brush, giving it a hug with my paper towel, wrapping it around like this, I'm going to grab a little bit of red, like a dot of red on my big brush, a little bit of white, and I'm going to go around the belly. So a tiny bit of red, and a tiny bit of white. I'm going to go around the belly. It kind of has kind of like an egg shape, like so. I'm also going to go around kind of like the nostril kind of area right up here. So white and a dot of red. Oh my goodness, like a little bit of red goes a long way. So I'm just going to outline those 2 areas, the little bit of white, a little bit of red. I'm not mixing it pink, because I really still want red to show just a little bit. So I'm not mixing them together to make it pink. I want that red to still be in there. And then I'm going to go inside the ear area here, so kind of like this rainbow shape. And there should be like a little line right here too. Perfect. Once I'm done, I'm going to go just back to more white on my big brush and just kind of fill in the belly. And I can even bring some of this red in and add some more white. So it's going to have more of like a light pink belly. So I'm going to go back for more white. It's okay if I grab some of this red on the outside. If you feel like it got too dark, if it got too red in the belly, let it dry and then kind of clean your brush and just go back with a little bit more white so it's a little bit brighter. So there's one. And then I'm going to go back for more white. wipe off the sides if you feel like there's too much on there. I'm gonna just kind of grab some of that outline from the red, go in there and paint some of that. So you still see a little bit of that red outline. Same here, I'm just gonna kind of go underneath it, grab some of that area, maybe a little bit to the right. Just gonna add a little bit of white. So I did red and white outline and then went back for more white, kind of filled it in a nice round formation, underneath it. And again, if it got too red, just let it dry, kind of clean up your brush, wash and dry it, and then go back with more white to brighten it up so it kind of gets a little bit lighter. Once you're done, you are gonna paint the rest of the body with a little bit of red and white on your brush. So again, white, tiny bit of red, and they can go in and paint the rest of the body. A very light pink, almost to where, ooh, I grabbed some pencil lead, to where I'm just gonna smooth it out. White, dot of pink, ooh, that was a little. White, a little bit of pink, and dry, get some of it off on my paper towel, to where there's barely any pink showing. It's more of a white body with a little bit of pink. I'm just gonna go in there and paint the body area. Not the mane, not the hooves, but white with a little bit of pink on my brush. And again, if you got, with a little bit of red, excuse me, if you got some too much red on there, let it dry and then just kind of go back to more white so it becomes a little bit lighter. Go around the belly. White, dot of red. I'm gonna go in here and paint this other area. Don't paint the hooves. So I'm slowly filling in the body, like so. I can kind of go in here a little bit more, the face area, white, a little bit of red. Oop, too much, I'm gonna add some more white. Kind of get the face and around the ear. It's okay if you get some on the eyes. If it catches some of the pencil lead, just kind of smooth it out. Over here to the left, like the forehead area, it's gonna be some light pink too. Again, if at this point you're like, oh my goodness, my dabbing unicorn is too pink, let it dry and then just go back and add more white on top. So the body and the face, and don't forget this ear right here. It's gonna be the super, super light pink, super, super light pink. Gorgeous. So we have all that area filled in nicely. Perfect. And we're gonna kind of let that dry for a little bit. I'm gonna wash and dry my brush. All right, next thing we're gonna kind of work on is our mane. And our mane has all types of beautiful colors. I'm gonna start with this blue right here that I have your, not your Ocean Breeze blue, but your other blue that you have, and my small brush. I'm gonna start making the mane. So I'm gonna use my small brush, and not your Ocean Breeze blue, but your other blue. I'm gonna start working in the bangs area where the front is, and I'm gonna start at the tips and just kind of sweep, which means I'm just kind of flicking out with my brush. So it kind of looks like individual little hairs. And again, I'm just gonna work kind of in the bangs area. Do my best not to go outside of there. A little bit of paint goes a long way. Add this blue where the bangs area is. Up, up, up. So should kind of get into all those little areas. And I'm just kind of flicking with my brush or sweeping where I'm kind of letting go. Gets kind of those feathery ends. You want it to look like hair. And I'm in the bangs. All right, once I'm done, I'm gonna wash and dry my small brush. The next thing I'm gonna go to is this Ocean Breeze. I'm gonna work a little bit higher. And this one way, I'm actually gonna come down. So I'm just gonna come down into, so I'm just kind of making stripes or little lines coming down into my other blue. Again, just a little bit, not too long, just a little bit. So I'm just making lines like number ones coming down into my, so it kind of looks like more like individual little hairs in the main area. And it's okay if you overlap over the other blue just a little bit so it doesn't look too stripy. You just want it to kind of overlap. There you go. Wash your brush. Next up is yellow. So wash and dry your small brush, start up a little bit higher, and you're just gonna kind of flick into that Ocean Breeze. If you got too much on there, you can just kind of go over there. Just kind of open it up. You can even let the Ocean Breeze dry for a little bit longer if you feel like they're mixing too much. Just little ones. Once I'm done, I'm gonna mix a little bit of yellow. And yours does not have to be exactly like this pattern. If you want to kind of go off and be your own artist, you can make your own pattern for the hair. I'm gonna take a little bit of red and mix a nice orangey color. Oh, maybe a little bit more yellow. Come out a little bit further. I'm just gonna go in there and add some kind of orangey red color. Gorgeous. If you're further down with the orange, no problem, no problem. Once I'm done, it does get a little bit tricky. I'm gonna wash and dry my small brush, add a little bit of purple, a little bit of white, and make kind of like a lighter purple. I'm gonna come down underneath, kind of like a lavender, which is a light purple. Just gonna make some lines coming down. And then I'm gonna wash and dry my brush and just do purple by itself after that. And I'm gonna sweep in to that purple so they're kind of working together. Once I'm done with that, then I'm gonna repeat this pattern all the way down. So that light blue, that Ocean Breeze blue, white, orange, light purple, purple. So I'm gonna go all the way down, and I'll even repeat the pattern in the tail. So for just a moment, I'm just going to be continuing that pattern. So blue is next, because we're starting from the beginning. I'm gonna sweep up. If it gets too muddy, you can wash your brush and build over it again after a minute. Muddy is when your colors mix together and they just kind of make a brown. If you want to give them some drying time before you build the next color, that's totally fine. And I'm just making lines so it looks like hairs. Yellow is next. Kind of going up. Kind of looks like the armpit hair. I always think of that. Going up. And then there's that orange. I see that orange we made with our yellow and red. Sweep up into it. Ooh, fire. Looks fiery. Then I'm gonna make my light purple, like I did before, a little bit of white, a little bit of purple. So white's a tint. It's gonna make your colors lighter. So I'm gonna add some white and purple with my small brush and sweep up. And then I'll make it a little bit cleaner. There you go. And then at the end of it, just purple. And if you don't end with purple, no big deal. Just be sure all that mane is covered with some beautiful fun colors. So fun. And then last but not least, the tail with that same kind of pattern. I'm gonna start with the blue, but I'm gonna come down the blue so I don't sweep up into the shape of the body. I'm gonna wash and dry. Follow that pattern. What's next? Ocean Breeze. But I'm gonna flick up into the blue, the other blue, the light blue. Wash and dry. Yellow. I'm gonna flick up into the Ocean Breeze. Again, if you feel that Ocean Breeze is still too wet and it's mixing too much, let it dry and then go back over with more yellow. You're flicking up into it. And then yellow and red mix to get some orange in there. More bright with more. Make more of a purple and white mix. And then more of the purple on its own. So remember, purple and white together is lavender, that really pretty light purple. I'm gonna sweep into that lavender with some purple. Gorgeous. One last thing before we add the black outline or the black hooves. I don't want to get my brushes too dirty or my water too dirty with black. So I'm going to really clean my small brush. And again, hug it with my paper towel, wrap it around, go into the yellow, just kind of get into that space. If your pencil starts kind of getting a little bit messy and smearing, just kind of go around your pencil a little bit more, or you can just kind of drag it out to where you can kind of just get rid of it. Be very careful of any colors from the mane that are wet. You don't want it to get on the yellow horn. So magical. All right. So wash and dry after I'm done with my yellow horn. And again, if you are not where I am at this point, please just pause the video and you can always go back to where I continue. So small brush, black paint. I'm going to start with the hooves. I'm going to outline them so I can kind of see them a little bit better. And I'm just using my small brush. And they kind of have like a bit of a rectangular shape. And I'll go in there and paint them all in once I'm done kind of finding them. So one. I'm still using my small brush. If you feel like you need to use your bigger brush, go for it. Make sure it looks nice and smooth, no bumps. Nice and smooth, no bumps. All right. And now I'm going to start outlining my dabbing unicorn so it kind of pops a little bit more. And I want to find a nice dry spot. If anything looks too wet or shiny, kind of avoid it. So small brush, and I'm just barely pushing on the tippy toes of my small brush. And I'm dragging it from one end to the other. And I can always go back too. I'm going to start here. I'm going to drag it, keep it going so it doesn't look very bumpy from here to here. And just even like a line right here. From one side to the next. So a little bit of black paint. And if you're pushing to where it's kind of curving your small brush over, you're pushing too hard. You just want to be pushing on the tippy toes. And then I'm pretty much outlining the whole body first after the hooves. And I'll work on the other stuff. So pretty much where I saw the pencil line. There you go. So in the original, the belly is not outlined in black, but you are welcome to outline the belly in black if you feel like you shouldn't. See? This has a little bit. Let's go ahead and go in there in the nostril area since we're here. And then on the left side. And then while we're here too, why don't we make this U-shaped eye? And I feel like there's like a little bit of a slanted eye right there. That up a little bit more. It's a little bit more rounded than I have. So I'm going to round it out a bit more. Cool. Again, if you want to go around the belly, you can. I don't believe that the original had a black outline. And if you want to, you can go around this U shape and kind of around this little slanted line too. Also, you do want to go around the unicorn horn. Give mine a little bit of a bump on either side so it's not perfectly straight. And go underneath it. If your yellow paint is still wet, maybe give it a minute or two to dry so it doesn't mix or blend with that black. And then last but not least, you want to outline the mane and the tail. I'm just barely pushing on my brush. I kind of rely a lot on my elbows too whenever I'm doing outlines. So if you feel like it's hard to get a good line, rely a little bit more on your elbows. A little bit of weight. nice. I don't do choppy lines. I kind of keep my brush going because you want it to be nice and smooth. That mane is so fun. That was really fun to do. And then the tail. So fun. I love that so much. That was awesome. I'm gonna wash and try my brush. One thing I noticed that I don't like is I think I went a little bit too thick that area. So if you feel like your black line got too thick, let the black dry. And if it's like more on the skin area, again, you can kind of white it out a little bit. But again, be sure that black is nice and dry. Mine might still be a little bit too wet. And then you can white it out and then kind of clean it up a little bit. Again, I think mine is still a little bit too wet, but if you want to white it out and then kind of go back over it with black, you can. Let me just kind of touch mine up so I don't leave it gray like that. But be sure that black is nice and dry, and you can white it out with some white paint and then kind of go over it with a little bit of red and white. But let me go ahead and just touch mine up on here. Probably give it some more drying time, and then I would go back and kind of mess with it a little bit more. But otherwise, I think you're all done. Oh, wait. If you want to add a little bit of shine to the hooves, you can too. You can wash and dry your small brush, add a little bit of white. I'm just going to go in there, maybe a little sweep side to side here and there. And up here, just be sure that hoof is nice and dry. You can go in there too. Let me see if I can fix that little bit of... I'm not patient. Now that we're all at home, if you have a hair dryer, you can dry it a little bit faster and can kind of go in there and build your white on top. So a hair dryer will definitely dry this up a little bit faster than I'm letting it. All right, one dabbing unicorn and one amazing painter. Great job, everyone. Hope you had a good time. Don't be afraid to pause throughout the video if you need to go back and kind of clean things up. Awesome, artists. Have a great day. I'm sure you did amazing. Love, Young at Art.